Okay, well, since we are talking about mental health,
Sure.
the the K-pop, J-pop, idol industry, all those kinds of things are fucking toxic. Like their work culture is
Yeah.
fucking toxic. Okay, to be an idol, you need to be good looking, body well maintained, not have a boyfriend, don't get drunk in public, don't drink, period. Sometimes, most of the time, at least from what I know. They're not allowed to curse in public. They're not allowed to there's like so much things that they're not allowed to do that it's ridiculous. And
Yeah.
it also overlaps because idol industry, K-pop industry, if you fuck up, you're out. They cut you off and you cannot it's difficult to get a job anywhere else because you have a bad reputation. You are cursed. You are gonna be abandoned. You're better off getting a job in a Western country.
Yeah, I think from my experience, from what I've known, right, it's because in terms of for K-pop, right, they went through this. They trained when they were young, so what they know is really just almost like
Just
that.
that, essentially.
Yeah, just that, just singing, dancing, and then when it comes to trying to find other jobs, it's so difficult for them. It's like, oh, they don't have the qualifications for those jobs, or they don't have enough um knowledge about the operations behind it. Besides that, and I agree with you completely when it comes to beauty standards. I think Korean wise, since they have a bigger impact worldwide, I feel like they really played a huge part, and they actually also affected me for like a very short period, because eventually I
Hmm.
kind of learned how to accept my body and love myself in the end. But
That's
oh
good.
my gosh, to this day, I and for those of you who don't know, there's this very famous internet community called Panchoa. You guys can go look it up. And this place, probably once in a week, you will see people comparing idols, or even just talking about how great their body looks. And I'm like, why? Just don't compare.
Oh, that
Try
is
just yeah,
disappointing.
it's so sad. It's like, oh no, you can see like they're
Ah,
comparing themselves to like the idols who went through like stressful like diet schedules, etc., or exercise routine.
yeah.
So it's like it's definitely difficult. And you could see, I remember seeing like people talking about um how they were rejected and bullied just because of how they look. Like the bullying cases in Korea is also off the charts, man. It's crazy. They bully you just for your looks. They bully you just because you're poor. They bully you because of your weight, of how you look, of your
Oh yeah,
appearance mostly. And I'm like, why? I'm like,
definitely because if you like if you also look into like Korea is the no is the world's capital for like getting like all sorts of like surgery done to make yourself look better. Cosmetic surgery essentially.
definitely.
Ah,
That's actually like what should I say? It's acceptable for them. It's like, okay, it makes me pretty. I get higher chances of getting a job, getting a potential partner, romantic
yeah, yeah,
partner.
yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. Oh my gosh, I
Ah,
remember.
it's so fucked up.
Yeah, it's just so fucked up. I remember being like, nah, man. And besides that, toxic community wise in terms of K-pop. Besides that, I feel like part of the fandom, I wouldn't say the entire fandom, the fandom culture, because there are people who, I would acknowledge that there are people who feel like the songs that they've listened to, or these idols, kind of like help them when they are in the darkest times during
Oh
their
yeah,
life,
definitely.
which,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, I will acknowledge that. But when it comes to those freaking toxic fans which attack other people just because just because like another member got the spotlight instead of their favorite member, etc.
No.
Yeah, or even like the group starting to become more popular, and then the other group fandom starts to come and attack, and I'm like, okay, stop.
I'm pretty sure I've heard like actual cases where people there were like fist fights because of this. Oh my.
The famous one being also sorry for those of you who might be fans of these two groups, but the famous one are usually BTS versus EXO fans.
Oh my god! I keep hearing those elevator.
Yeah. And I'm like, damn, it's so famous to the point where an post in the internet community, which was when a BTS fan and an EXO fan were friends, are friends in real life, that got popular in the internet community. I'm like, why? What?
What?
I'm like, people are friends. You know that, right? Do you have friends? Do you know what are friends?
Is this like supposed to be like the Romeo and Juliet of fucking today? Like Romeo and Juliet of like K-pop, whatever.
It's like, oh my gosh, this is a better love story than Twilight.
Oh, that's great.
Damn, that's why I'm like, nah, man. Eventually, I'm still kind of, I'm still kind of like, damn, like remembering back then when I was a fangirl. I'm like, shish. Now that I've dropped off, I'm a retired fangirl. I'm like,
Retired
okay.
fan girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of anything right now? Like besides those? Besides.